Every morning, millions of people around the world perform a sacred ritual. They scoop dark, aromatic coffee grounds into a machine, brew a fresh pot, and enjoy their daily dose of energy. But as soon as that pot is finished, a tragic mistake occurs in almost every household. Those spent coffee grounds, packed with latent energy and vital nutrients, are mindlessly tossed into the trash bin. Most people look at this dark powder and see nothing but waste, a useless byproduct of their morning routine. But if you are someone who loves the earthy smell of damp soil, the bright green of healthy foliage, and the fiery satisfaction of harvesting your own homegrown chili peppers, you are sitting on a gold mine. Most gardeners don't know this, but your chili plants are constantly communicating with you, begging for the very nutrients locked inside those discarded grounds. When a chili plant is struggling, it doesn't suffer in silence. It leaves clear, unmistakable clues. Have you ever noticed the lower leaves of your pepper plants turning a pale, sickly yellow, while the rest of the plant seems stuck in slow motion? That is a classic cry for help, a sign of nitrogen deficiency. Or perhaps you have watched in frustration as your plants produce beautiful, delicate white blossoms, only for those flowers to dry up and drop off the stem before a single pepper can form. This heartbreaking phenomenon, known as blossom drop, often stems from a lack of potassium, magnesium, and localized environmental stress. When a plant lacks these essential building blocks, it simply does not have the energy to support both its own survival and the development of heavy, juicy fruits. To fix these issues, many well-meaning gardeners immediately run to the nearest big-box garden center. They spend hard-earned money on synthetic blue chemical fertilizers, hoping for a quick miracle. While these chemical quick fixes might provide a temporary surge of growth, they often do more harm than good in the long run. Synthetic fertilizers can overload the soil with harsh salts, killing off the beneficial microbes, dehydrating the delicate root hairs, and leaving your soil dead and compacted. The real secret to growing prize-winning, heavy-yielding chili plants isn't found in a plastic bottle on a store shelf. It is found right in your kitchen, waiting to be unlocked. Here's where the real secret begins. You might have heard of people throwing raw coffee grounds directly onto their garden beds. Perhaps you have even tried this yourself, only to find that your plants didn't seem to care. Or worse, the soil turned into a moldy, crusty mess. There is a very specific scientific reason for this. When you dump raw, wet coffee grounds directly onto the soil's surface, they tend to clump together, forming an impermeable, water-resistant barrier. This barrier chokes the soil, cutting off vital oxygen to the root zone. Furthermore, as raw grounds slowly decompose, soil microbes actually consume the available nitrogen in the surrounding soil to break down the carbon-rich material. This means that instead of feeding your plants, raw coffee grounds can temporarily starve them of nitrogen. To truly harness the power of coffee grounds without harming your plants, we have to look at how nature processes nutrients. We need to create a liquid delivery system that bypasses the decomposition phase and delivers bioavailable nutrients directly to the plant's roots. When we extract the beneficial compounds from coffee grounds into water, we create an organic, nutrient-dense elixir. This liquid solution is packed with trace amounts of potassium, which regulates water pressure and enzyme activity within the plant. Magnesium, the central atom in chlorophyll that drives photosynthesis. And natural antioxidants that protect plant cells from environmental stressors like extreme heat and drought. By presenting these nutrients in a liquid form, we allow the plant to absorb them almost instantly through capillary action, bypassing the slow, unpredictable process of raw decomposition. To begin crafting this powerful organic liquid fertilizer, you must first gather your ingredients with care. The process is incredibly simple, yet it requires a level of precision that separates amateur growers from true master gardeners. First, you will need a clean, food-safe container. A wide-mouth glass jar or a clean plastic bucket works perfectly. Into this container, you will pour exactly 1 liter of clean, room-temperature water, which is equivalent to about 4 standard cups. If you are using tap water, it is highly recommended to let it sit uncovered for 24 hours beforehand. This simple step allows any dissolved chlorine to evaporate, ensuring that you do not inadvertently harm the beneficial microbes living in your soil. Next, you will add 2 tablespoons of dried coffee grounds to the water. This is the step many people skip, often using wet, fresh grounds straight from their coffee maker. Using wet grounds is a critical mistake. Wet grounds still contain a high moisture content that, when stored or mixed without proper aeration, can quickly encourage the growth of harmful molds, pathogens, and anaerobic bacteria. This leads to unpleasant fermentation odors that smell like sour rot and can introduce diseases to your delicate plant roots. By thoroughly drying your coffee grounds in the sun or on a baking sheet in a low oven before use, you stabilize the organic matter. Dried grounds prevent mold development, neutralize unpleasant odors, and ensure that only the cleanest, most beneficial compounds are introduced to your water. Once the dried grounds are added to the water, take a wooden spoon or a clean stick and stir the mixture vigorously. You want to make sure every single particle of the coffee grounds is thoroughly saturated and suspended in the liquid. After a good stir, cover the container loosely with a cloth or a lid and let it sit undisturbed in a cool, dark place for about 24 hours. What happened next surprised me when I first analyzed this process. During this 24-hour steeping period, a beautiful chemical reaction takes place. The water acts as a gentle, natural solvent. Through the process of diffusion, the soluble compounds locked within the cell walls of the coffee grounds begin to migrate into the water. The liquid gradually transforms from clear to a rich, warm amber hue. During this time, the water is being infused with organic compounds, natural humic acids, potassium, magnesium, and a complex profile of antioxidants. These antioxidants act as a shield for your plants, helping them combat the oxidative stress caused by intense sunlight and fluctuating temperatures. After the 24 hours have passed, you will notice that most of the coffee grounds have settled to the bottom of the container, leaving a dark, fragrant liquid above. Now, you must perform a crucial step, straining the mixture. This is the step many people skip because they assume the sediment is harmless. However, if you pour unstrained liquid onto your plants, those tiny, fine coffee particles will settle on the surface of your potting soil. Over time, they form a thin, cement-like crust that seals the soil. This crust prevents water from penetrating evenly and blocks fresh oxygen from reaching the root system, which can lead to root rot. To avoid this, pour the liquid through a fine mesh strainer, a piece of cheesecloth, or a paper coffee filter. Keep only the clean, amber liquid and discard the remaining solids into your compost bin where they can break down safely over several months. Now, your liquid gold is completely free of debris, perfectly clear, and ready to work its magic. With your nutrient-rich liquid solution prepared, it is time to focus on the plants themselves. To get the absolute best results, timing and application technique are everything. Let us look at a young chili plant, about 2 weeks after it has been transplanted into its permanent home. At this specific stage of life, the plant is entering a phase of rapid vegetative growth. It is working tirelessly to establish a deep, sprawling root system beneath the surface, while simultaneously pushing out new leaves and branches above. The stronger and more robust the root system is now, the more flowers and heavy fruit the plant will be able to support in the coming weeks. Before you apply a single drop of your homemade coffee fertilizer, you must prepare the soil environment. This is a practice passed down by seasoned gardeners that makes a night and day difference in nutrient absorption. Walk up to your chili plant and take a close look at the base. Gently pluck away any small weeds that have sprouted nearby. Weeds are aggressive opportunists. If left in place, they will happily steal the premium nutrients you are about to provide. Once the soil is clear, take a small hand fork or even your fingers and gently loosen the top inch of soil around the drip line of the plant. Be incredibly careful not to go too deep or disturb the delicate surface roots. By gently breaking up any compacted crust, you create tiny pathways in the soil, allowing the liquid fertilizer to flow deeply and evenly down to the root zone rather than washing off the sides of the pot. Now, here is a secret that most novice gardeners overlook. Always water your plant with plain, clean water first. If you apply a liquid fertilizer to bone-dry soil, the dry roots can experience a sudden shock from the concentrated nutrients. Furthermore, dry soil is naturally hydrophobic. It tends to repel water, causing liquids to run down the inner walls of the pot and drain out the bottom without actually soaking the root ball. By lightly pre-watering your chili plant with plain water, you prime the soil. The moisture creates a capillary pathway, allowing your coffee ground solution to be distributed evenly throughout the entire root zone, maximizing every single drop. With the soil damp and receptive, gently pour your prepared solution directly onto the base of the chili plant. As you do this, make a conscious effort to avoid splashing any of the liquid onto the leaves, stems, or developing flowers. Chili leaves are sensitive. Leaving wet, nutrient-rich residue on them can invite fungal spores, such as powdery mildew, or create wet spots that act like tiny magnifying glasses under the hot sun, leading to leaf scorch. Keep the application focused entirely on the soil surrounding the main stem. The timing of your application is just as critical as the technique. You should always feed your plants either early in the cool morning hours or late in the afternoon as the sun begins to set. During these cooler periods of the day, the plant's transpiration rate slows down and the soil temperature drops. This means the water will not evaporate rapidly into the air, giving the roots ample time to drink in the moisture and absorb the dissolved minerals in a calm, stress-free state. Feeding your plants in the middle of a hot, sunny day is a recipe for disaster, as the rapid evaporation can concentrate the nutrients too quickly, leading to root burn. For young, actively growing chili plants, applying this solution once every 7 to 10 days is the sweet spot. This consistent, gentle feeding routine provides a steady stream of nutrients without overwhelming the plant's delicate system. Once you have applied this homemade elixir, the real excitement begins. Gardening is a game of patience, but when using a highly bioavailable liquid organic fertilizer, the results became visible just days later. Within 3 to 4 days of your first application, you will begin to notice a subtle yet profound transformation. The leaves of your chili plant, which may have looked slightly pale or dull, will begin to take on a deep, vibrant, emerald green color. This is the direct result of the magnesium and nitrogen compounds working their way up into the plant's cells, supercharging the production of chlorophyll and boosting the plant's photosynthetic efficiency. As you move into the second week, you will notice the physical structure of the plant changing. The main stem will begin to thicken, becoming sturdy and resilient against the wind. New vegetative shoots will start to push out from the leaf nodes, creating a bushier, more compact plant profile. A bushy chili plant is highly desirable because more branches mean more node sites, and more node sites mean an abundance of flowers. By the third week, as you continue this feeding schedule every 7 to 10 days, the magic truly unfolds. you will see an explosion of tight, healthy green buds forming at the tips of the branches. Unlike before, when flowers might have dropped off prematurely due to nutrient stress, these blossoms will open wide, strong, and full of vitality. The potassium and natural antioxidants in the coffee solution help the plant manage its water usage and strengthen the cellular walls of the flower stems, ensuring that once pollination occurs, the flowers successfully transition into tiny, glossy green peppers. What happened next surprised me the most during my years of refining this method. Not only did the plants produce a significantly higher volume of peppers, but the overall health of the soil improved dramatically. Unlike synthetic fertilizers that degrade soil structure over time, this organic coffee solution acts as a prebiotic for the soil. It feeds the beneficial fungi and bacteria that live in a symbiotic relationship with your plant's roots. These microbes break down organic matter, making other locked-up minerals in the soil available to the plant, creating a self-sustaining, thriving ecosystem right inside your container or garden bed. Once your chili plant has successfully set its fruit, and the peppers are growing larger, you can transition your feeding schedule to a maintenance pace of once every 2 to 3 weeks. This keeps the plant strong and energized as it pours its resources into ripening those peppers to their final fiery colors, whether they be brilliant reds, vibrant yellows, or deep oranges. This simple, cost-free method is a testament to the power of sustainable, mindful gardening. By taking a common kitchen waste product and understanding the simple science of extraction, you can transform your garden into an abundant, high-yielding paradise. It is a rewarding cycle that connects your morning routine directly to the health of your backyard harvest. Have you ever experimented with using coffee grounds in your garden? Or do you have a unique family gardening secret passed down through generations? I would love to hear your stories, tips, and experiences. Please share them in the comments below, so we can all learn and grow together. If you found this guide helpful and want to discover more practical, organic, and highly effective gardening secrets that will transform your green space, make sure to show your support. Hit that like button, share this with your fellow garden enthusiasts, and subscribe to keep up with all our upcoming deep dive gardening guides. Thank you for spending your time with me today. Happy gardening, and may your chili harvest be the most abundant one yet.